I was just discussing, talking about the war, what's going on with that. We are back in war again, and that's not good. Um, what am I trying to say here? Just wanted to say hello, see how everybody's doing with their Astro vans, see if they got anything new. If you do, put it in the comments down below. As you can see, I got my van behind me. Basically, it was sitting on a trailer. That's when I went and got the roof rack built on it. And as you can see, it's a pretty nice roof rack. That's just a side view. It's not really that much, but it was pretty nice. It needs a paint job now because it's been sitting. It was sitting outside for a minute, but I had it in storage and it's still in Florida. Was still, you know, jagging it up. I'm sitting in my camper. You really can't see nothing right now because I have I guess the background going. But sitting in my camper is pretty windy outside. Yesterday, we were driving down the dirt road and we saw a cat on the side of the road. But I was like, what can we do? We got to go, to the event that we were going to. And, didn't think nothing about it. I said, okay, there's probably a cat out there. It probably belonged to somebody in the area. And this morning, I'm studying for a test I got to take tomorrow. And I hear a meow. I was like, I heard a meow. Well, that cat was underneath the camper. He found a way to get in. I don't know how, but he found a way to get underneath, and he was shaking so bad. I mean, it was like, what? What? Now, he's part of the family. He's sitting up on the couch, sleeping right now. He was meowing for quite some time, and he didn't look like he ate anything. So we're gonna just take him, make sure he's okay, make sure he's got all what he needs, because we had a cat. She passed away a few months ago, and we had her for quite some time. And she got sick. She had a tumor on the side of her neck, and it was just getting bad. So she passed away, and so we ended up doing the worst. You know how it is. But I see I got people on here. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, get notification of my next video. I haven't posted any videos lately, but I will. Um, just subscribe. I mean, what do you got to lose? I mean, I ain't the greatest. What's up, Emmett? I guess that's what the name, Emmett Matt. Um, I plan on doing this you know, every Sunday. I'll start putting out videos on the van build. I don't have nothing. I got something going on right now, so I can't really work on the van. I plan on doing some new stuff. I had to buy a new cover for my UTV because it's falling apart, and it's supposed to be here Tuesday. And my other trailer, I'm gonna turn it into a coffee trailer. I'm gonna make a food trailer out of it, make some money. You know what I mean? Uh, but I bought a trailer. I don't know if you've not been here before on this channel. I bought a trailer a few months back, and I was gonna turn it into a food trailer, and I was like, yeah, I'll make some extra money on the side while I'm working. And then I decided, oh, I'll turn it into a camper again, so I can use it. But I decided that food trailer is probably where I need to put it. Uh, I mean, it'd be a good camper. I mean, it's a 1978 Prowler. Uh, I'm looking at it. That's why you see me looking outside the window here. You can't see the window, but I'm looking outside the window. Um, but yeah, um, I got my ghetto set up. Like I tell everybody, it's kind of ghetto. I have a microphone. It's sitting right over here. It's old school headphones because I'm an old school guy. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But anyway, the reason why I bought it because I was like, I'm gonna buy a microphone. Just possibly do live broadcasts and stuff like that, and then you know whatnot. And then finding out it's an old version, so I went and bought some. You might hear a cat meowing. Here, you hear that cat meow? He's trying to sleep, but he won't. I would show him pictures of. I would flip him around, and let you see what he looks like. Take a look. Oh, it didn't come up. Okay. Yeah, he's over there. It won't show it. But yeah, we this cat was walking down the street in the ditch, and we saw him last night, right before we were heading out, but we couldn't do nothing, and we had to go. And this morning he was underneath the trailer, and he is a black cat. There ain't nothing, no other color on him. He's just straight black. His name is, we calling him Jet because he's black, Jet Black. Uh, he um, I was looking up names. I looked up on Google and Chat GPT. Yeah, I looked at Chat GPT and I said, "What name would you call a cat that's walking down a mountain road by himself? You know, and you just found him. What would you call him?" And it gave me a bunch of names. What would you have called him if you had a black cat walking down the road at night and he shows up at your camper? What would you have called him? Because he's here, he's alive. He ate some food. Now he's quiet. He was shivering so bad because it's cold out here, and he was under the trailer. So I don't have the diesel heaters heating under the trailer right now. I'm trying to save money because I've been burning through it with the cold weather and whatnot. So when it's not so cold, I don't run the diesel heaters in the shed and underneath the trailer. Um, because I want to save money. Don't want to be spending all that money. But what would you have called the cat that you would have found if you found it? Jet black cat. I mean, he's just jet black cat. Uh, what would you call him? Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you would have called that cat. But he's laying up here. He looks clean. I mean, he's not dirty. I think somebody just dropped him off. They went down the road, threw him out the car, and because there's nobody out here where we're at, so I'm like, what is? I mean, he's clean. He looks like he's not that old. He's like a baby, but yeah, he's here sleeping. My dog is freaking out. So we had a cat, like I said, we had a cat named Lucy, and she passed away a few months back, and she was old. She was an old cat. We've always had cats. This was the shortest span of not having a cat. Had I had a cat named Bud. I named him after Budweiser. Had him for almost 18 years, and he was probably the greatest cat I've ever had. We've had multiple cats, but Bud got him in Oklahoma, Dale City, Oklahoma. I think that's the name of it, Dale City. Um, got him at the pound. He was kind of same age as Jet over here, and he was in a cage, and we went and he stuck his arm out trying to pet me or grab me, and voila, $25 later he was going to the house, and that $25 was his shots. I think they declawed him, and had him for 20 years, almost 15, 19, or 18 years. I mean, my mom always had cats. Always. She always had cats. So it's not hard to have a cat. My sister got a cat. Some people, oh man, cats suck. No, they're easy. As long as you take care of the litter box and put some food down, you ain't got no problems. Dogs, on the other hand, they shit everywhere. I had to go clean up shit because my dog shit everywhere. And I don't like to walk in it. Excuse my language, but he shit everywhere. So I cleaned that up yesterday. I was out there sweeping it up, and his spots and stuff like that, just because I don't want it building up. I know some people say, "Oh, mow it in the ground; it'll fucking fade away." No, that stuff was everywhere. I was like, "Man, this dog can poop." But anyway, um, like I said, I'm gonna be making some videos for the van, and try to make it cinematic and dramatic or whatever you want to call it. But I will be doing videos once I get I'm going through a land purchase, and I want to get that situated before I start doing anything because I have a lot of projects that I got to do. I got to build a garage. I got to build for my cars. I got, the trailer to take care of. I got to build that. I got to build some solar over there, and um, so it's a lot of. And I started out on this journey. We thought, well, yeah, we're gonna go to Alaska, and then we're gonna come back, buy some property in Florida, and then stop Midwest. No, the real West. I ain't gonna say Midwest. The real West. So we are here. I'm looking at the TV. They're showing massive explosions. You know. What do you want? What do you? Be quiet. Go back to sleep. See, you can hear him. Hear that cat? My dog Bruce freaking out. He's yelling at me. Shut up! I'm trying to sleep. It's like he had a nightmare and he just woke up. Hey, dude. Hush. Live here on TV here, or on YouTube. Live. And you're interrupting. You're interrupting, dude. What is going on here? What? Cats, man. Cat. Now it seems like he was walking. He walked where we saw him, and where he is right now. That was a good couple of miles, and it's like, how did this cat find? I mean, we saw him, and then that was it. I was like, let's go. We can't go get him. He'll find his place, and then next thing I know, he's underneath the cat. 2 miles away from where we saw him. He knew. I'm going up there. I know they came from there. That's where I'm gonna live. That's my new house. I'm gonna get some food up in there. I'm gonna eat. That's my new house. I can see it from 2 miles away. I got X-ray vision. He's yapping. But yeah, I'm watching the TV. They're talking about Iran and stuff like that. That's not good. All that stuff is not good. To all the military members, be safe. Uh, I'm retired military, so I know I've been through that, and we don't need this, but we're going through it again. Um, yeah, I'm waiting for NASCAR is what I'm waiting for. Be honest with you. I just happened to turn on that channel, and I was like, okay, I'll watch this for a minute. But anyway, we'll go back to the van. Like I said, I'm gonna be building some stuff in the van. I plan on ripping it all out, taking all the goodies out, and starting over. I seen my storage area, and all, I got a diesel heater for it. I got a lithium ion battery, bank for it, and stuff like that, that I want to use for it. And somebody says but I got all kinds of lithium batteries and stuff, or lithium battery bank for it. It already has solar, so I got to rewire that because you don't really need a charge controller when you got a solar generator. You don't. You just plug it in and they charge. When you have no, you're just pumping into lead acid batteries, you can just have, you need a charge controller for that. But for these, anchors, you don't need no charge controller. As you can hear the cat. Now behind me, like I was saying earlier, you can see the roof rack up there. That I paid $1,100 for that roof rack. It was from Journeys Off Road in Prescott, Arizona. I believe they moved to Kentucky. I drove all the way from Florida to Prescott, and as you can look, if you look at the bottom, I don't know if you can see it. I'll move over. That was a U-Haul trailer. I had to. My transmission went out in northwest Texas. That was like on the border of New Mexico and Texas. and out it went. So I had to make a plan to get back. So I had the at that time I was a U-Haul dealer myself, or a neighborhood dealer, and I rented one, towed it back, and or towed it to Prescott from Northwest Texas. All the way to across New Mexico and all the way across New Mexico and into Arizona. Went to Prescott, got the roof rack, as you can see up there, installed, and it's nice. I mean, it is still nice, even though it kind of rusted out a little bit. So I'm gonna take it off and re-clean it. I was gonna have it when I was in Florida. I was gonna have it powder coated, so I can, you know, it would last a little bit longer. But it, it is what it is. Uh, yeah, I was outside. I'm wearing shorts, and it's kind of cold out there. But I didn't want to put pants on just to run across to the shed. The wind's blowing pretty hard. I don't know if you can hear it. You can hear stuff flopping around. I got my UTV cover just blowing all over the place. It's held up pretty well. I've been over here for about a year and almost, and I bought the cover for it so it wouldn't get all jacked up. Um, but like I said, I'm buying some new property. I'm gonna build a garage over there, so I got to get that going once it's warmer in a couple months, and I will be building a center block. I guess you want to call it a center block garage to house my toys and my van, which I need to be working on. I got to change that transmission out. It's a 4L60E. I probably need to put something different because the 4L60E that's the second transmission. So I had the one in it. It burnt up. Got it back home. Changed it out to the one that's in it now. So you know, two transmissions to 4L60E. I changed the motor in that van. I tore that van apart. If you look at my past videos, you can. Or I think I had some videos where you see where I tore it apart and separate the body from the subframe on my lift and whatnot, and had it to where I can actually take it out from underneath. It was a lot easier than trying to rip it out of the front. Now I notice most people when they do Astro vans, they cut the core support and then they pull it out the front and then they slide it back in and try to make some ghetto hookup for the radiator. But me, I took it apart. I think it's easier that way. So when I get my shop, I was gonna do a LS swap in it, and I had being owning a auto repair shop, you get cores all the time, or like the customer bought the engine and they didn't care what you did with their old engine, and you could rebuild it and do whatever. But I had like two LS motors. I was 5.3s. I was gonna put in it, or could have put in it. I got a 305 cubic inch small block Chevy that I rebuilt many years ago. Never used it, and it's sitting in storage right now. No, actually, it's sitting in my van, my other Astro van, and it's totally destroyed. It's set out in the van, and there's humidity out there, totally destroyed. Now I have a 383 stroker in my other car, and I had that built by Badass Racing Engines out in California. And when I say Badass Racing Engine, badass. He's no longer in business. He's in business, or I think his website is still up, but I don't think he does it anymore. But he built me a 383 Street Beast. He called it, and it's a Street Beast. What he said was true. My car, the car that it's in, it's just dangerous. That's all I gotta say. Because the car's not set up. Don't have no roll cage, no subframe connectors, nothing. It's just straight up. Just a stock car with a hot motor, badass rear end, nice brand new. Well, it's not brand new now, but it was then. Brand new. I had the drive shaft built specifically for it. Put a turbo 350 transmission in it. It's got a 383 stroker with 550 horsepower. It is sick. It is sick. If you can tell me what kind of car that motor and transmission and drive shaft, it has a 8-inch rear end from a 1960-ish Mustang that is was built out for another car like mine. I almost gave the name away, but if you know the name, if you know what kind of car it is, let me know. But uh, yeah, so I got plans. As long as I can breathe, I'm gonna do something. So right now it's my Astro van. Uh, I have I do have an Austin Mini Cooper. It's not a Cooper. It's an Austin Mini. Um, I've had that one for since 2007. No, I bought it in '05. I got that. I have another Astro van, and I have my other car that I was telling you, and I got another one. It's a German car, but that's not my car. That's the other half's car. That's my wife's car. So that's her toy. But they're not here. That sucks. The only thing I got here is my van, which is not that don't suck. That's good. I got my van. I went and got that a couple months ago. I was like, I gotta get my van. I gotta start working on it. I wanted to go you probably see me talking about the other one, the Peace, Love, and Vans event. That's why I went to get it. And then I'm like, well, it's going to cost me a fortune to get it up and running to get it to the event. So I'm going to have to pass this year. Hopefully they'll do it next year. I will be here and I will go to the next year. But I have to get the van 100% because, I broke down in it once. I don't want to do that again. Don't want to do it again. But love those vans, those Astro vans. I've changed so many motors, starters, alternators, water pumps, radiators, transmissions, rear ends, doors, hinges on Astro vans. So much. Every time I think about it, I see one go by. I see an Astro van drive by, and I call it a classic because how many Dodge Caravans from let's say 1997 do you see on the road? Not very many. How many Toyota Siennas, I think that's what it was, their version, do you see from 1997 on the road? Not very many. But I see a ton of Astro vans everywhere. Every day I see another Astro van. Every day. It might be a blue camper van or just a regular driver. But I see Astro vans every day. And people who own them, don't let them go. They're, those and S10s, those are the two vehicles. They're basically the same vehicle. It's just different body. So if you have an old S10, most S10s got beat up really bad because they're trucks. So you might not see a lot of S10s on the road. But the vans, they use them as cargo vans, working vans. Especially when I was in Florida, they were everywhere. It's like Astro vans. And, two-wheel drive Astro vans aren't as, I mean, they're not as popular. Well, they are popular in the southeast, but in the northwest, that's my cat or new cat yapping. My dog is freaking out because he's like, "Whose cat is this in my house?" But speaking of the vans again, every time I see them, I call them a classic because there are 80 model vans out there. I've seen 80 model vans, like 80 the original versions, the very first. I had a '94 that was I paid $1,925 for it, and I had that thing. I started out with 160. I think I had 116,000 miles on it. I ran that bad boy up to 300,000 miles. Didn't do nothing but change the oil, brakes, new tires, painted it, threw decals from a shop on it, and loved it. And then I was an idiot and I wrecked it. It sucked. That was hard because I wanted to keep it forever. I was like, I'm gonna build my business, and that van is gonna be sitting on a pole or in a museum one day. But I don't have the van anymore, and I don't have the business anymore. don't go into business unless you got a lot of money. And don't borrow money to go into business. I'm gonna just tell you that. Don't borrow money to go into business. Start out with nothing and work your way up. You'll be happy. Trust me. You can walk away with no problems. Like I started my business with a toolbox. I had a Craftsman toolbox from Sears. It had 4 drawers in it. And I remember I was a mobile mechanic. And my first job was on a BMW. I want to say it was the water pump at a resort in Destin, Florida. And I was over there working on this guy. No, actually, I didn't start in my van. I started in my pickup truck. And it seemed like as soon as I did that, well, I did work for friends. I worked on their cars and stuff like that. And one of the friends, she was like, I need more brakes done. And I did her brakes in her mom's driveway. And that's when it started. I was like, man, this is a good idea. And then I just started doing it on a regular basis. Craigslist was hot back then. I used to use Craigslist a lot. Next thing I know, I was getting phone calls like all the time, nonstop. And I had a day job. So I would do that at night, on the weekends. I would swap motors in people's driveway out of a Craftsman. I don't even know how many tools was in it. Not very many. But Craftsman, toolbox, 4 drawers. I didn't have half the tools I needed, but I'd be like, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'd be going to get stuff. And yeah, that worked out very well. And then it just blew up into a business. I went from that, retired from the military, and then I started doing that full time. Next thing I know, I got 2, 3 shops. I went from a 4 drawer Craftsman toolbox to 3 shops. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But the phone kept ringing. I kept going. And it was good money too, because when you're, what totally changed it, what turned it into a business, I was doing an oil change on a guy's car in, I want to say it was Panama City, somewhere way out there, Mariana, something like that. Nice house, the neighborhood was all rich folks. And the guy was like, I want to do an oil change on my car. Okay. And he was walking by and he said, so, you're working on my car, you're doing a good job, but are you insured? I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. I was like, okay, I better turn this into a business, because I was not a business at the time. I was just a guy, not a shade tree. I'm not a shade tree mechanic, but you know what I mean. And next thing I know, I was like, let me go register. And I got my name. I ended up getting my tax ID, and I got all my information and stuff like that for the local area. And once I put decals on the van, oh my God. I made so much money. I bought the van. I paid cash for it. And then actually where I bought it from, the guy said, just write me a check. Here's the keys. Sign the title over. Sign it. Here you go. I was like, man, that was kind of quick, because I thought he was a dealer, but he was not. He was a guy selling cars out of a shop. But he didn't sell it like you go to a dealership and fill out the paperwork and all that stuff. He just, 1925, boom. So I went and registered the van, and then I went and had it repainted. Had it painted white, of course, because it's a cargo van. It was beautiful, because it was okay. It wasn't all beat up, but it was pretty clean for that age. It was a 1994. It was, And then I took it to Mako, or at that time it wasn't called Mako, it was something else. But took it to them. Dude hooked it up. It looked new. I mean, it would look really new. I took it to the guy that I met him. I saw a sign outside of a building. The guy do logos and stuff. So I ended up taking it over there. I thought I heard a horn, but I don't know. But anyway, took it over there. He designed my logo. We were going back and forth, and I was like, that's sick. Next thing I know, my van looked good. So I was driving around, phone was ringing like crazy. Crazy. Well, this was going to be a short one today because I'm going to watch NASCAR. Just like, subscribe, hit that bell, get notifications for my next video. I will be live on Sundays, just on Sunday. Don't know when. I might do it as a premiere the next time because so people, if you're watching this and you want to see it, you know, you can come or you'll see my premiere. And then you'll be like, okay. And then I'll have a different background every single time. Maybe the cat that I just somehow acquired. He's sleeping up there. He's like, I found a place to live. You know, it's kind of sad that somebody would dump a cat like that. You know, I know people don't like animals. Some people don't like animals. Some people don't like cats. But he's so little, you know, it's like whoever did that is cruel. I mean, he would have had to tough it. You know, it's not easy out here. There's nothing out here but a bunch of animals that I was like, man, he's lucky a bird didn't take him out. You know, because there's these big old hawks, or not hawks, but ravens flying around. And I mean, I'm not talking little. I'm talking about I was walking one day, and a raven was flying over. I can hear his wings. I was like, what the? I thought the gargoyles was coming after me. I heard the wings just hitting the wind. I was like, Jesus. Oh, there he is. His name is Jet. He's freaking out, having a nightmare. He's coming over here. What's up? What happened? You okay? Look in the camera. Oh, shit. There he is. There's Jet. Sit down, boy. Be quiet. Oh, my God. Stop. Get out the mic. Well, let me let you go. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, get notification of our next video. We'll see you next week. Don't knock the mic over, dude. What are you doing?